Alright, let's get all snug and cozy. Or just glued to our seat. Ah man, it feels like a Sunday when I do ASMR now. Because that's like our designated day. Thank you for the headphones. And welcome in, Jin. How are you doing tonight? So, let's see. Now, the audio might be a bit different today. So you'll have to let me know if it's weird or anything. I try to do as much like testing as I could with it and whatnot, but you know, it's all a matter of trial and error, so my voice is already hurting, so let me get some water. You know how the start of these streams are. Super scuffed for the first 5 minutes. Let me do roll call before we really get into it and stuff like that. So hang on tight. Thank you for redeeming the first Ryan. You are the first redeemer today. Congratulations. How are you doing? How are you doing today? What's the fluff been up to? Thank you for the hydrate as well, Nasha. Let me go ahead and get that for you right now. I definitely need to start off with. Also, the bells, if you hear them off and on, I'm gonna try to experiment with having those worn, the leash, instead of letting it sit on the mic. Just because I feel like it might be more interactive that way. And you'll have to forgive me. Like I said, every time we start ASMR, I could be talking to myself for like literally an hour. And the second I hit the start button, the second I go live, that nervousness just completely ruins my throat. So you guys have to forgive me. This is a bit of stage fright that I don't think I'm ever gonna get over. It's just, it'll get better with time. Like, it probably won't take as long to get past it, but it's been a consistent thing so far, so sorry about that. Welcome back, Zesty. How have you been? How are you doing today? You being nice and spicy? Or are you trying to stay nice and cool? Depends. Food's good though, right? Right? How's Zesty? Welcome to Astral Cataclysm. How are you tonight? And Pancake as well. How have you been? How was everybody's weekend? How has everybody started their week? Actually, today's Monday? Tuesday? No, Tuesday. Today's Tuesday. How did everybody's... How's life? I forget what day we're starting out with or how to introduce. Let's just say it's a day. It's a day. And more importantly, it's Valentine's Day on the other side of the world. Or for us, it's Valentine's Day Eve. Also, goddamn, my throat. I don't know what's wrong with it. It won't. It's so bad right now. You want to know the weirdest thing as well? Sorry about all the allergy noises. I was actually taking a Ricola before stream, to help. But it seems like even that didn't have an effect. It's so weird. And hello, Jen. Thank you for that pets earlier. How have you been today? How have you been on the start of this week? You been doing anything? Has anybody been up to anything and whatnot? Ads started a little bit late today. It was weird. But hey, once they're done, and we're ready to start. Now, I do have a bit of ambient noise going, and I promise, guys, this is probably the most stage fright my voice has been in a while, and I don't know why it's doing that. Bear with me for a few minutes. It will get better. It's just a matter of why is my throat so panicky? Let me relax it just a little bit. Maybe I'm doing something weird. Okay. Thank you for the head patch, Jen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, you have D&D tonight, Pancake? Oh, tell us a little bit about the campaign so far. Tell us a little bit about it. I'll be honest, Jen, when I saw your comment earlier out of the side of my eye, I thought it was talking about Omega Seth, or what was it? I was thinking of Horus instead of Ozrus, which is a Pokemon game. So, yep, RuneScape agility. How do you train agility? It's been so long since I played it and whatnot, so... Okay, maybe I'll just try switching to a whisper instead. Apparently my quiet voice is too nervous right now, so maybe while we're nervous, we'll just switch on over to a bit of a whisper to start off the stream with. And maybe that'll be the secret to getting past this spicy day. Oh, has it? It is good to see you though, so welcome on back. Welcome on back as well, up here 64. How's 64 doing today? How's 64 doing tonight? What have you been doing? What have you been doing so far? I'm running the Drainer Village rooftop course right now. So it's one that you specifically have to like run around, like a racetrack and stuff like that. It's interesting. I wonder, is it automated at all, or do you have to do like a lot of clicking and stuff like that? What all is involved with doing that? Also, give me a second. I think I need to change my gate just a little bit. Something's I don't trust something that I see on my screen right now. No, the gate should be fine. The gate should be fine. I think it's just OBS acting a little bit weird. So, yeah. Okay, let me see if I can't just relax. Okay. Maybe I was just too nervous. Couple of deep breaths, and I think we all, from time to time, need to take time out to actually take a deep breath or two. It seems to help a lot of things, you know? Doing better? Oh no, are you sick, 64? Like, a cold or anything? Upset stomach? I hope you get to feeling better. That sounds, that sounds a little bit rough and whatnot. Not at all. I have to click like 5 things per run. Oh no. Damn, so it's not an AFK grind. How long do you have to do that potentially? Like, how much agility training do you have to do there before you're done? Anything as delicious as the water coming off as an ice cube? I don't know. I kind of feel like, in theory, that wouldn't really have much of a taste. But in terms of sheer refreshment, I feel like that's definitely up there in the list of top 3. For like quenching your throat, or have something that, like, chill, refreshing, and revitalizing and stuff like that. So I think that would be it would be hard to beat something like that. It's definitely one of our, chemistry. I don't know how to say this, but yeah. Life has given us something interesting in terms of the ice melting and the water coming off it being quite nice. Oh, just an upset stomach? No worries, no worries. I pray for you to get better and stuff like that, so may you get well soon. Okay, so maybe it's just the way that maybe not really sitting, but like, oh, I know what's wrong. Well, not with my throat, but like, I haven't moved you guys over to my other side of my screen. Because I need to be able to see you guys. Otherwise, it looks like I'm like staring like this the entire time. So, I need to put you on the other monitor right here. That way I can see you guys. Or maybe I should be staring forward. Maybe right here is perfectly fine. Mini hearts, much love. So, guys, are you ready? Today is going to be a bit of a different stream. It's going to be kind of a special but interesting stream, you know. Why would you think it's a different stream? Why would you think it's an interesting stream? Does anybody want to take a guess? It has something to do with what tomorrow's gonna be. I think I already did mention it, but yeah. Today is Valentine's Day Eve here in the US and some parts of South America. However, it is Happy Valentine's Day, or it's Singles Awareness Day over there on the other side of the world. So to anybody out there in the European countries, UK, Asia, China, Taiwan, wherever you happen to be, Happy Valentine's Day over there. You now go get you some chocolate, you know. You definitely gotta get yourself some chocolates. I want you guys to be spoiled. I want you guys to be loved as well. And I definitely want you to have something extra sweet and stuff like that, you know. It only comes one day a year. So, don't be afraid to spoil yourself. Even if it's a Singles Awareness Day for us, we can definitely love ourselves, you know. We can definitely be nice to ourselves for one day, at least. If there's any day out of the year, then let it be Valentine's Day. Do something nice for yourself for a change. If you say you're not loved, then start by loving yourself. Go get you a nice big chunk of chocolate, a nice chocolate heart. Or maybe you don't want a chocolate heart, maybe you just want something sweet. Something like candy, or something like ice cream, or something even hot, like cappuccino. You know, there's different ways out there that you could probably spoil yourself. So why not start with something sweet? You're sweet enough for me? Have too much in me and you might get diabetes. You can't make me take responsibility for that, though. I gotta give you my disclaimer now. You know? Otherwise, we're all gonna need dentures before the time we get old. That or we can just be good boys and girls and brush our teeth, you know? If you're gonna have sugar, then don't forget the brush. You might get a cavity. Or something weird like that, so, you know. So, now that it's, you know, we've basically done a dry intro and stuff like that, I need to pull one more menu over here. Because I always forget about these. Actually, I forgot about, like, everything. Oh no, I think I forgot about something else as well. The Tangia thing is not open right now, right? God damn it. Okay, those don't need to be activated while we're doing their ASMR. Like, they're fine if they're through the other thing, because that one's more of a pain to turn off. But the point ones will have to, you know, I'll have to temporarily postpone until the next stream, probably tomorrow, you know. AMR streams can be a little bit more restrictive in terms of channel points, but I do try to add a couple of them, you know, specifically for these streams. You know, things like that and stuff like that. So, let's see. Oh, you want me to ring my bells? So do you want me to ring them specifically, or do you want me to move around? How about I just... I guess I can, you know, whisper a little bit while you ring my bells and stuff like that, you know. Now my question to you is, why do you like touching my shackles, because it's a it's a choker, not a leash. There's no leash on my collar. I would not be tamed that easy. If anything, I would be the one taming you all. Is it coming? They can be. Honestly, I wouldn't mind having like these next to the window or something. That way the wind can blow against them. They actually make a pretty nice sound. I'm glad I got 3 of them. That way we can, you know, have a bit of fun. So, before I talk about, like, I guess how the stream will be a little bit different in terms of, you know, handling the Valentine's Day theme and stuff like that. One thing I should probably talk about and whatnot is we got a little bit experimental earlier today, and there was a reason I was late to the stream by like a minute or 2. I might have like overestimated just a teensy little bit, but hey, I wanted to do something fun, and I had the idea while I was in the shower, but the problem was it was kind of difficult to find source material that you know, one could actually crop, because all the voice lines that I did earlier were from, you know, spicy dojins and stuff like that. So that kind of limited my selection a little bit. But I found some okay ones. The weird thing was that I started off looking for stuff like specifically femdom or Yuri femdom, and I didn't really find as many lines as I thought I was going to find. And then I, you know, by the end of it, I was just like, wait a second. What I'm trying to find is actually a little bit different. I like sounding not necessarily sadistic, as I said earlier on my tweets. It was more not the sadism part, but the playful part. In other words, I should have been looking for crops and samples of Moetsuki dojins. Those are what I should be looking for. But yeah, happy Valentine's Day if you're on the other side of the world. But yes, here in the US, happy Valentine's Eve. It's the night before Valentine's Day. So instead of you all spoiling me, I'm gonna spoil you all tonight. I'm gonna be whispering and be extra soft and gentle right next to your ears tonight. That's the best thing that I can do for you a day early. And then tomorrow, we can get a little bit silly in VR chat, and then, you know, I can spoil you that way instead. Thank you. No worries. No worries. As long as you're all calm, happy, and just excited to be here. Well, not really excited to be here, but you know what I mean. Oh, that cramp thing was like blindingly white. The bloom even like makes the whites like even more bloomy, so I was like, interesting. But yeah, how have you been, Gunther? How have you been, Zane? Welcome on in, you too. How have you been? How are you doing? Also, I forgot to say earlier, welcome in, Starfound. How are you doing today? How was your day? My day has been a little bit interesting. Also, it was kind of like, give me 1 second. Started off just a little bit weird in a way, I guess you could say. Cause like, I wanted to get up after not sleeping too long. I was like, 12:30 should be fine. And then you rolled around to like 1:30. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna get up, and then I laid down for like another 30 minutes, and I didn't start the day till 2. So, you know, that sleep schedule is hard to maintain. A broken sleep schedule is so hard to get a grip on. But I think if I could at least try to see the sun tomorrow, it might prevent mine from going overboard way too quickly. But other than that, today's been good. today's been fun. I've only been up for like maybe 6.5 hours, but I mean, I forgot if I got anything productive done today, but I think I did get a couple of stuff done. I did a little bit of exercise, took a shower, did some voice training, and then I did a little bit of an experiment. I was going to talk about this one, but I didn't get to it just yet. So, if anybody's been on my Twitter, you'll maybe have noticed that I wouldn't call it a demo reel, but I've been getting asked a lot to start like even just making some silly recordings or examples and stuff like that. It's like, okay. And it's like forever later, I'm just like, hey, I got a little bit of free time today, and I'm in the mood for it. So I was able to find at least a couple of interesting, snippets to pull out from a couple of dojins, and just did a couple of dry voice acting things. Now, they're not really voice acting things, they're still very much like reading quality. Because I noticed, like, when I was trying to record them a couple times, I was just like, this sounds too, narrative voiced and whatnot. So, I have to get a little bit more, like, even more on the playful side of things to, like, fully make those voices shine, stuff like that. So, let me go ahead and get that for you, Jen. Thank you for the redeem. Let's activate the spin. No, I don't have any SFX for it. But I mean, if I had a fan, like, I could probably turn that on. Actually, I wonder, could I emulate a sound? Let me try something. Okay, just humor me for a little bit. While it's on for 5 minutes and whatnot, and I'll keep my eye on it. I'll let that sound go just a little bit in the background, because, I said SFX and I was just like, wait a second. We could do something close enough. We could do something. So, I think it works. If it don't work, just let me know. Welcome in, Erin. How's my little bean doing tonight? Where's my headphones? Where's my... Sometimes it's so hard to hide or find like a specific emote. Ah, there it is. It's being extra sneaky today. How was work? You getting ready to get snuggled in? Did you have food? Dinner? What have you been up to? What are you doing tonight? But yeah, if anybody does want to see that little random set of voice stuff, I'll be honest, it's just me being a dumb fox. But yeah, I thought it was pretty funny to watch. So go check that out if you want to. Otherwise, instead of voice acting stuff today, you're in the room for ASMR right now. So I thought ASMR was only Sundays. Sorry if it was a pushy rude question. No, that's a perfectly fine question. That is a perfect valid question that I would be more than happy to answer for you. So, ASMR is predominantly almost assigned exclusively to Sundays. However, it's not like do or die, I guess. Like, I don't know how to say this, but no. Sometimes if I can't do it on Sundays, or I have a chance to do it twice a week, or I'm in the mood to do it twice a week, I might reschedule, I might schedule a second one. So that's what happened this week. Sunday, way too many things were going on, and I didn't have enough time or emotional space to do ASMR on Sunday. So I was like, okay, I'll do it Monday. And then Monday got here, and I realized that the next 2 days are going to be Valentine's Eve and Valentine's Day, so I was just like, wait a second, why not save ASMR for Tuesday? So instead, we did Grand Blue on Monday, we're doing a Valentine's themed ASMR tonight, and then tomorrow night, we're you know? As much as I would like to like make it a consistent Sunday, sometimes things happen. But yeah, that's all it is. I'm not looking forward to Valentine's. Aw. I know Singles Awareness Day can be a little bit, it can be a bit rough sometimes. But hey, as I was saying earlier and whatnot, sometimes we just need to celebrate Singles Awareness Day and love ourselves. Because chances are some people like forget to do that. And even if we're all alone and people are like, oh, I have nobody to be loved or nobody to like love me, and I'm just like, don't forget about yourself. It's a fake holiday, yes. It's a corporate thing anyways. It's meant to sell roses, chocolate, and stuff like that. So the real holiday comes after. If there's any good sales, discounts, and stuff like that on candy, chocolates, and stuff. It is, yep, a Hallmark holiday. That's the best way to describe it. So, go divas, go get your Lindt, go get your premium chocolates, if you wish. Or just wait for the day after and hope you can get them on a discount. Otherwise, there's other things you can do that are just as sweet. You can go get you some ice cream or something like that, maybe a cappuccino, a nice sweet cup of cream and coffee. There's all sorts of ways that you can spend Valentine's Day simply being nice to yourself instead. Sucks when you're mostly and around couples because of your friends. Aww. When you have to look at your peers and stuff like that and see what they're doing and stuff like that. I completely understand what you mean. But yeah, other than that, it is just another day. We don't have to draw too much attention to it. But as long as it's around, then I will do, a couple of themes and stuff like that. Just to not really celebrate the day, but it's it's a chance to do something a little bit more, in the mood, in the season, in the name of the aesthetic. Also, it looks like I can go back to normal. So give me 1 second. And then I'll turn off my little copter tail for just a moment. Okay, there's an ad break going on. I'm gonna take a water break and I'll be right back. Hang tight. Alright, let's bring it on back and get ready to go again. So, if we're gonna be doing a little bit of a theme, what did I say? I done forgot what the theme was gonna be. I put it on Twitter and I done forgot. So I might, in honor of the readings I was doing earlier, or not honor, but in reference to, why not get a little bit DC and stuff like that tonight? Of course, I'm definitely gonna, help people relax and, stay calm while they listen and stuff like that. But we can definitely, just keep it easy. And I will say tonight could be a bit of a shorter night. Mother's been like gone off and on for some time. I think she's been out to California like 3 times in the past couple months. And they just got back in tonight, so I was like, I might go and see, like, if the family's doing okay after stream today, so hopefully we don't go over the 3-hour mark. But if I need to take off a little bit more before then, I'll let you guys know. But for right now, premium discounted chocolate tastes better. It does, doesn't it? I like the taste of a sweet discount. Or, it's not even the price. The price is always going to be expensive. I just like good stuff. I just like sweet stuff. Not overly sweet. I'm actually a fan of dark chocolate more than I am like light chocolate. Milk chocolate. Or anything like that. Oh, nice. You got your chocolates. Let's go. Let's go. I was gonna say where I got them, but that would be... I would point to the city. No worries, no worries. Yeah. Dark chocolate are like 70-80% cocoa. I've even had the 90% ones and they're pretty good. I just don't want anything that's overly sweet or overly, like, strange, oily or something like that. Just give me that, that bittersweet goodness. Oh, you eat us dark chocolate as well? Nice. It's definitely the palate pleaser for myself. 72% is where it stops tasting good. Oh, I see. I can respect that though. I can definitely respect that. Because everybody's taste buds is a little bit different. And sometimes, we like what we like. But I like it as high as 90%. I feel like 72% would be like, probably the perfect point for myself. Just because it's, it's a little bit more sweet. It's got just a little bit more there. But I've had some pretty good 90% bars in the past. They always have like several different hints of other things like hazelnut and stuff like that. So, just have the sweet that you like. Just have the chocolate that you like. Because it's all going to be nice, sweet, and creamy on the way down. Well, you haven't had any higher. Oh, I'll say it's a bit of an acquired taste. If you go past 72%, it is a bit more of an acquired taste. And you're talking to somebody who kind of prefers their coffee black, or at least more black than not. I've never had 100%. 100% would be like, there wouldn't be any sugar at all to activate anything. So, unless it's a very special and carefully curated blend, I feel like 100% is just not going to work very well at all. That would be so difficult. Like, 100% doesn't even sound good. And you know that says something when I'm somebody that likes 90%. If 90 and then to 100 is no bueno for me, and I've not even had it, then... well, okay. That is a good point. I've never had it. It sounds brutal. It sounds like no. But I mean, it would only be fair to give it a shot. But yeah, we'll find out when the time comes, I guess. So let's see. It's Valentine's Day Eve. And your mom's gonna be kind of alone with me tonight. Of course, I'll be taking care of your ears and stuff like that. So, you won't have to worry about anything being like overly loud and stuff. No. One thing you will have to watch out for is I do get a bit thirsty from time to time. So, give me 1 second. Okay. So, where do we want to go off? Anybody have any good, interesting stories? Any Valentine's Day themed? Like stuff that has happened in the past? Or anything funny? Feel free to talk with me as well. While I will be driving it for the most part, I still like to talk. I still love ASMR chatting hours as well. So, if you have anything you do want to talk about and stuff, I'm here. But if the priority is on the relaxation and whatnot, then no worries at all. No worries at all. I'll do what I can to definitely take care of you all the night. So, it's been about a year. A little bit about a year ago. We didn't do a pre-Valentine's Day stream, but I do remember streaming on Valentine's. I do remember. I don't remember where that world was, because specifically, we did stream VR chat. And if I remember correctly, we were definitely still using the Cotting model as well. We picked out a red outfit. There is a room with a red rose. And yeah, we just played around and act all silly. No, there might have been a couple of clinging here and there, but I think tomorrow is definitely going to be a solo cast. You guys are going to get me doing the Femboy ASMR stuff today, but tomorrow, I'm going to try to flip the tables just a little bit, I'll spoil you today, but you might have to put up with me tomorrow, because I might be just a little bit more, I might just be a bit more teasing tomorrow, but at the same time, who says that I can't be teasing as well tonight? Who says that I can't, try to experiment just a little bit? Now the only question is, which kind of fox do you want to have to deal with tonight? Maybe you want to deal with all of them at the same time. Maybe you want me to hear, do something more like this. Maybe you want me to just, keep it soft and, bring it down just a little bit. Or do you prefer if I keep it up here instead? Or maybe we just go for the big, the medium ground there in the back. You don't know what I'm talking about, do you? Don't worry, neither do I. I'm just being nonsensical. I'm a fox after all. Sometimes we do things that don't make sense. And that's okay. That's okay. We all do things that don't make sense sometimes. I just spent the last couple of minutes trying to find the brand you usually buy. Which one was that? Which brand? Oh, you like the one you just did? If it was the one that I finished with, then there's like 3, kind of areas that I can use. More, but I mean, for the ones that I just did. There's where I focus it like down closer to the diaphragm. Or if I try to keep it out together and just kind of put it out in the front. But if I do half and half, then it's more like using the back of the throat, I guess you could say. Oh, Ghirardelli. That one's not a bad one. That's not a bad brand at all. I've not had it in years, but it's acceptable, yeah. Intense dark 72% sounds absolutely delicious. That sounds absolutely delectable, electrifying and smooth, all at the same time. But yeah, so let me see, let me straighten up and stop shrimp posing too much. Cause when I was doing the one recordings earlier and stuff like that, I realized something. Thank you for the head pats, Nasho. Thank you so much for the head pats. I've found a bit of a different switch, I guess you could say. And I forget. Like, I did the voice for just a little bit, like when I was in the shower, and I kind of forget how I did it. However, the aftermath that came with it and whatnot, that's the one that I need to try to find again. Because I noticed there's like one really popular profile that a lot of female ASM artists tend to use and whatnot. And it's where they kind of like, almost kind of like rely on the diaphragm for the most part, which is a bit different. But I do think the vast majority that I know of are actually more mature. I don't think I really know any of the ASM artists now that I think about it, so okay, that might be a bit biased, but yeah. It was like, you know, if I practiced it a bit more, I could technically do more of a Tommy Mommy voice if I wanted to. It's so weird. But I mean, oh no, it's not even like, it's a little whispery, but it's not too high. It's like, yeah, so like, try to like, make it like, right here and stuff like that. It's because when they get it to be like about right here instead and whatnot, and they kind of like limit the voice from coming out and stuff like that, is because it relies on like tightening a lot of an upper cavity, which if you were to like try to talk with a voice like this and stuff like that, it does come off a bit more nasally if you try to put like a voice behind it. So if you just like do this one instead, it's a bit weird. But if I try to, give me 1 second. If just try to like even like keep it like right here, then it gets even just a little bit more like right there. Just not too big of a fan of using this kind of voice and stuff like that. It's just it's not really my character. It's not really like my personality and stuff like that. But I guess you could say I have a bit of a couple of extra voices that I don't use all that often, just because either there's a lack of practice, a lack of confidence, or I just maybe don't like using them personally because of the way that I act now. But I mean, maybe if we do more voice acting and stuff, then I might get to use them just a little bit more. So yeah, that was one example. And that's the higher ones. You do think it sounds nice? Also, welcome in, Relieved Path. How are you doing tonight? How are you doing? Welcome on in. You honestly do think it sounds nice? I mean, I could give it a shot for a little while. And just, you know, it'd be a way to like maybe gauge, like, just, I guess, a couple of feedback and stuff like that. So, now the other one that you're probably used to hearing is where they, you know, they just try to bring it in, and while still being up high, they try to push it down low a little bit, and then it almost does sound just a little bit airy when they do this instead. So, I don't like it at all. Hold on. Let me reset my voice, give me a second. I'm going back to my own voice. Okay, sorry about that. I completely like cucked my throat just a little bit, and I wanted to properly reset it. Honestly, you don't have to use it at all. It's not so much like completely out of comfort. It's more like it's definitely more of a confidence thing. I'll be honest. It's definitely a lot more of a confidence thing. And the only way that it's gonna get better, get more practice, or like fun using it and whatnot, is you know, experimentation. Just getting so sorry to hear that. May the pizza be delicious, and may the pizza make you extra happy tonight. Have a delicious, cheesy pizza. Pizza, pizza, pie. I like pizza. Pizza's good. Pizza makes people happy, and you shall be happy. I guess. It's actually kind of weird. Also, welcome in, Pizza Ultra. How are you doing tonight? Welcome back. Out of a job. Oh, it can always be difficult, yeah. Finding employment, stuff like that. Tired. Well, then you're in the right place for some, some comfy and soft ASMR to help relax, to help wind down too, and stuff like that. Also, welcome in, Grimlock. Welcome in. How are you doing tonight? Welcome on in. How has your day been so far? But yeah, we are doing some Valentine's Day Eve, or Valentine's Day on the other side of the world ASMR, where I'm just gonna be kind of, kind of clingy, kind of silly, kind of teasing, or something like that. And just a bit ago, we were kind of experimenting with a couple of different voice profiles. And then I was like kind of realizing that doing the more mature version is not really too much of a whisper. It's just I kind of forget how to do it. And I think the problem as to like why it's a bit more difficult is because it's actually hard for me to use at a lower volume. When I was doing my voice job, holy shit hurts it. Oh my god. I need water first. Sorry about that. That voice is, it's fine when it's at a proper volume. It's actually a little too strainy, like when I have to do it like say ASMR or a softer voice. Which, is kind of ironic that, the higher voices and stuff, I feel like, are a little less strainful and stuff like that if I just do them as a whisper instead. It's just it's weird to actually set up and stuff like that because I don't know, using the voice, not the voice, but like the way you have to like move your throat and stuff like that is a bit different. It's kind of weird and stuff like that. I did have a job coming my way and just had to go out without food for a few weeks. Oh no. That sucks. Like, at my worst back when I was in college the first time, there were times where I did have to live off of, cheap packages of ramen and a couple of multivitamins. I was a little bit of a skinny thing back then, but I mean, that was just until we got to our next, student loan payment and whatnot. My parents, I did something, it wasn't, completely their fault and stuff like that, but they ended up overdrafting my account once, and, that was a rough semester, because they were hurting as well, so we just kind of, shared the pain, I guess you could say it. It's definitely not the healthiest thing, but I mean, if you're looking for extremely temporarily cheap diets and food and stuff like that, cheap ramen and, what is it? Multivitamins. The only problem with that is that there's, no protein. So, the only other way you can supplement that is if you did have a little bit more money, try to go into a grocery store towards the end of the day and find the meats that are marked down and whatnot. Almost a year, damn. Went homeless for about a month. At some points went without food for 2 days. Damn. Life can be really rough sometimes. Been in the negatives. Yeah, sometimes you have to just stretch things out. Or put up with a bit of debt until things like pull through. So, good job for making it this far. You've done your best. You've worked hard. And you're still here and you're still kicking. And as long as you're still going and whatnot, then, you'll be able to do whatever it is you need to get back on your feet. Now, having a couple of friends or anything like family or, some kind of support, both physical, mental, emotional, financial, it's out there as long as you're looking for it and you're receptive to it. I can definitely get the glasses for you. Give me 1 second. There you go. And thank you for the hydrate as well, Gunther. Let me get that water. Giving me the heart, Whoopsies, give me a second. I can clear my throat. There's gonna be sometimes, right? At some point, maybe even tomorrow. It's almost Valentine's Day after all, yeah? Have a good look, Jen. No worries at all. No worries at all. I'll see you when I see you, okay? Take it easy. And have a good time there in the background and stuff like that. I'll see you when we see you. But yeah, tomorrow will definitely be Valentine's Day. So, we'll be spending the stream on VR chat instead. I'm gonna spoil you guys here today. And you guys will have to put up with me spoiling you tomorrow as well. We're definitely gonna do some fun stuff. Try to do some fun stuff anyways. But yeah. So, how many of you are getting to use something sweet? How many of you are getting something special? Do you have any plans of your own? Any ideas? Any gifts? Anything sweet? Anything sweet and succulent? How will you be spending your Valentine's Day? I've had a girl that I know that has been possibly dropping hints that she likes me. Oh, it's not a bad thing. You never know. Been playing Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. I have obtained the ability to automatically build creations that I have previously created. And I have also obtained the Champion's Tunic as well. Welcome on in, Max Nitch. How are you doing, Max? Thank you so much for the follow, and welcome on in. May you be having a wonderful night, and a Valentine's Day Eve as well. We are, just kind of acting a little bit silly and stuff like that tonight. I mean, that's usually what we do anyways, but yeah. I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for asking. Just, I guess I could say I'm being a little bit too silly tonight for my own good. But hey, that's what you all are here for, am I right? Am I right? That's what you're here for. Right in your seat, right next to your ears. You've got me on the mic. And I've got you for the next hour or two. So how would you be a good girl or a good boy? And I'll keep you nice and comfy. I'll keep you nice and close. And give you all the attention that you're looking for tonight. No. Oh, welcome back, Orpheus. How are you doing? My friend were giving me weird looks when I told her that I wanted a girlfriend that was at least 6 foot and could bench press 405. Everybody likes what they like, you know. Everybody's got their own goals and stuff like that. Also, guys, give me 1 second. I think I might have my collar like one notch too tight. That was a common joke. Oh, the comment itself. I mean, some people like a buff. I know people who are into, like, you know, buff. Well, not even just buff. Some of them are like also into giantess and stuff like that. But I mean, that one's kind of realistic, or not realistic. Just wanting you know, just wanting a buff and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with it at all. Probably not getting anything. I'm more single than Thomas Van Galter after Daft Punk broke up. Oh, well, I mean, as long as you stay open, as long as you're looking, and, you know, just doing what you can to be receptive and stuff like that. Cute voice. Oh. Well, thank you, and welcome on in, child. How are you doing tonight? How are you doing today, and how are you spending your Valentine's Day? How are you going to be spending Valentine's Day Eve, maybe? It doesn't have to be with somebody necessarily. I mean, you do have me here on the screen. But you know, the one thing that we always got to remember is that we always have ourselves. So, don't forget to get yourself something as well. Whether it's something sweet, whether it's something tasty, or just, you know, a day off maybe. Just remember to be nice to yourself and love yourself as well. Not really looking. You just let what happens happen. Exactly. You go with the flow. You play it by ear. Take it one step at a time. Thank you so much for the follow, child. And welcome on in. May you have a wonderful time with us and stuff like that. We do a mix of ASMR, you know, just kind of chit-chat and playtime. And guys, there is an ad at a bad moment. But I do need to take a quick break. So, hold that thought for me, child. I'll be with you in just a moment. Don't go away. I will take a quick break and I'll be right back. There is an ad break going on for another minute. Alright, sorry about that. You might have been fortunate enough not to get an ad, but I have like my stream manager pulled up on the side, and it tells me like you have an ad starting here, ads in progress, ad is ended, how long it's gonna last. So, one thing that is weird is some people don't get them sometimes. Sometimes, some people only get like one ad or less ads, or like I said, sometimes people just don't get an ad even without a subscription. So Twitch is a little inconsistent with it. But yeah, sorry about that. So the trigger word Pog. Are you trying to be my little Pog champ tonight? Or do you just want me to be Poggers? Or do you want me to say something making it like a conjunction? Not a conjunction, what is it? I suck at English. Like, that's very pog of you to do. Like, you want me to be cringe? You want me to cringe? You want me to be cringe like Maxor? I'm gonna have to turn off my cringe inhibitors if you want me to go that far. Is there a trick to becoming a femboy? It depends. It depends on what being a femboy means to you. If you're talking more about the outside aspects, that just comes from like good hygiene, grooming, exercise, diet, how you present yourself, what you wear, stuff like that. If you're talking about the internal aspect, that's kind of like, you know, if you change yourself from within, is it your personality already? Do you need to change that to be more like you want to be and stuff like that? So, the one internally is like, you know, would either come naturally or something that has to be acted out upon. Usually best if natural. So, how do we do the voice? The voice is a matter of like voice training or practice or, you know, just about anything can be learned through experience. So, like, you know, give me a second. It's hard to like even use like my normal voice and stuff like that, but like, this is where I would like more like talk on, I guess, a day-to-day basis and stuff like that. Just at a more, I guess, ASMR, low volume and stuff like that. So there's a lot of I guess help out there. It's mostly like video tutorial, example, or just like listening to what like people do. And then I guess the best way I can describe it is simply having fun. Having fun and enjoying the process of trying to just change your voice for the hell of it is where you would start. And then getting feedback, like feedback later can help. Trying to study different techniques, remedies. There's not really like any, you know, drugs and stuff like that. That's not gonna help you. Mostly. But just taking good care of the throat also helps. Definitely trying to avoid like smoking, keep hydrated, take good care, have enough humidity, tea, honey, taking care of the throat. The only time somebody confused me for girls when I decided to wear a mask because I was sick. Interesting. But I would say long hair is not even like a necessity. Like I sometimes find bob cuts pretty cute and stuff like that. It's just, you know, putting in the effort one way or another depending on which aspect or both. So it's even harder to like describe my like what I do now, because you just kind of like warm up on and do it and stuff, I guess. And I think it's just because of the way that I talk. Like my personality kind of shifts how I like pronunciate or accent things. And then of course, like when I start to whisper and stuff like that as well. Then if I like just like really get into it and stuff like that. And then like I just kind of like back down a little bit. And if you like start with a high pitched whisper and then you slowly try to put volume behind it and then you just kind of make it a bit more vocal, then you start to get closer to a head voice. That's usually where most people start, and it's actually probably the easiest one to learn, but it will probably take a couple of weeks, a couple of months. Some people are quicker, some people are not. It took me forever. I had I had a lot of time, like, getting my voice to actually start to develop. The first year of streaming was rough. It was big rough. But, yeah. Chin-length bob with a beard. Ah. Sometimes facial hair isn't all that bad. but I'm definitely on the side of not wanting it if possible, just because of dysphoria and stuff like that. Oh my god, I forgot to send Ryan a thank you for this morning. God damn it. I was like at my list of like top of my list, and I forgot I even made a list. So guys, give me 1 second. I have to go into my Discord. I have to go into the M's, and I'll be with you in just a second. Yeah, it really depends on the person. For me, I am just like, I just like girls, boys that look like girls, boys that look like girls that are boys, like, just looking cute, just wanting to be cute. So, as long as they're like, feminine stuff like that, that's what I like. My sexuality includes both girls and boys. I'll be just 1 moment, guys. I hate to pull up a BRB screen, but I'll be right back, okay? I'll still be here. I gotta type. Okay, you guys get working like keyboard ASMR. I didn't mean to mute the mic. Let me come back. Let me come back. Let me pull everything back up onto the screen, stuff like that. Okay, I need to take a look at like one last thing and stuff like that. So hang tight real quickly, okay? Hydrate. Let me get that for you. Yep, thank you for the advance, and thank you for the hydrate. And now let me go and get the stretch for you as well. And yeah, no worries, no worries. You don't have to worry about it at all. Hey, they come off after so long. Oh, so you'll have to read the text on it now, because I figured it was way too much for me to like remember. So I've moved the 15-minute indicator to the description. There we go. But yeah. Now I know it still says on off, but I think the cooldown is long enough to where they'll come off when the timer elapses instead of people redeeming to take them off. Now the only way that it would work to like take off the glasses if it was in the VR chat stream. That way I can, toggle them at will, I guess. Man. Oh, is it just being a little bit weird tonight? That's okay. That's okay. So what's Little Bean up to tonight? What's Aaron up to? A wizard cosplay. I put on my robe and wizard cap. There's such an old meme. I'm pretty sure that was in reference to, like, the old days of WoW, wasn't it? You're the cutest? Oh, I try to be. I'm definitely no Caglios though. But, I do what I can. I do what I can. Watching you and feeling EP, I mean, that's what it's for. That is what the ASMR is for. Just to help you, like, wind down, relax, and take it easy. Also, I'm sorry if my throat is a little bit rough tonight. I might have actually strained it just a little bit, because I realized that not only did I do voice training today, I also worked on the scuff dojin, like, clips and whatnot, and, I probably could have waited on that for another day. But that's fine. That's fine. I can flip a switch and to get a little bit more playful, I need to start getting, you know, hyperactive on the mic. I mean, not hyperactive, but you know what I mean. What do I mean? What do I mean? What does this fox want to say tonight, guys? What does the fox say? A lot of bullshit is what I say, I guarantee it. But that's okay. That's okay, that's okay. As long as, you know. Tell me what you say. What you say. Oh god, that's an old song too. How are you doing, Colors? How is the purple cutie doing today? Is it weird that I have the urge to say mommy to you? No. I mean, I guess like for me it's kind of like mixed feelings, because like I don't like really do like the mommy thing, but the thing is, I guarantee if I put a little bit more time into the voice and stuff like that, I could probably pull it off. It's just, I forget what I did when I was like, I guess like doing the voice training and stuff like earlier, or like how I even started pulling it off the first time. But I'm gonna guarantee that it's probably a mix of me just having more of a husky voice, I guess you could say. And as a result of having that, then, you know, I guess if I had a voice out of mommy character sometime, then I guess I can give it a bit of an attempt. It just depends. Are you planning to be a bit of a good girl for me? Are you planning to be a bit of a good boy for me? You're not gonna have to make me get down and correct you, are you? Are you gonna have to make me work for it? They can be it. Oh yeah. I was about to be like, I thought she was commenting on the duality of my voice. You were talking more about the bratty option. Why is brat an option? You're not a brat. Okay, that's gonna give it a clarification. Also, thank you so much for the headphones, Ryan. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And welcome on in. How are you doing tonight? How is Ryan doing tonight? How are you enjoying the Valentine's Day holidays, festivities? Even though our Valentine's isn't like coming up for a little while and stuff like that. But yeah. I guess like when I'm more bratty is either when does the brattiness actually like come out and stuff like that? Probably like during VR chat sessions or VR chat streams. When I have like more opportunities to tease. It's just I don't think I'm brat enough to like make the brat come alive while I'm doing ASMR, I guess you could say. Cause like I'm always trying to be gentle. It's not like I'm trying to be a gremlin and just be like, you know, I'm not trying to scratch your ears or anything. I'm trying to like bite them. It's not like I'm like trying to punish them or anything like that. But I mean, okay, that's one voice profile I discovered that I could do and I don't actually like. I don't know, something about that voice profile is just a bit different. Somehow you have giant ears and they suit you. What can I say? I'm a fan of the big ears and the big toes. I'm not actually a fennec, but you could say that they're they're like that kind of fox. They are big. Thank you for the headphones. Are you having a good time relaxing, Ryan? Are you having a good time, just kind of taking it easy and just winding down a little bit? This is definitely a good night for just taking it easy and relaxing and stuff like that. Gonna have to go back some other time. Oh, like glasses? Or you mean inspection? You'd have to get up close and personal and take a look at them. Oh, speak, that's what you meant. Hello, hello. Thank you for the follow, Death by Love, and welcome on into the channel. I have not done an introduction all night, have I? But welcome on in either way. I'll go and do that for you. I am Lily Moetsuki. I am the fox on the screen. Tonight, I am your ASMR artist. We mostly just kind of do like, chatting styled ASMR. So you get a mix of like soft voices. You might get a mix of like whispers and stuff like that as well. Or some experimental sounds and stuff like that. Other than that, we are a bit of a variety streamer. Either, collabs with random games like Phasmophobia and Little Company, or, like with Dolly, RPG Maker games, games that are heavy in dialogue, retro games, indie games, just, games that I have a lot of fun playing, and stuff like that. So, if you're looking for somebody who's just chatty and very in the mood to play around and stuff like that, then you're kind of in the right place. So I'll do what I can to, make you feel welcome and stuff like that. So tonight is Valentine's Day Eve here in the States. But we are doing a happy Valentine's Day over there to the European countries, the Asian countries, and everything else over there. Or New Zealand, Australia, It's very much already Valentine's Day over there. But for us in the... Whoops, didn't mean to hit my desk. Here in the States, it's just, one more night away. And then it'll be Valentine's Day morning. So other than that, I forgot what I was gonna do. But I feel like, yeah, we were talking about the bratty stuff, and then we were talking about the mommy stuff and whatnot. So I don't know. I don't know if I like take care enough of people for... Oh, Grumvit, welcome on in. Grum, what would you like me to use? I didn't realize that I could take like a no text response. Do you have a suggested word, phrase, or anything like that? Hat. 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 So we're gonna put on our hat, I guess, tonight. Or what else did was that gonna be like, what kind of like books had hat like mentioned in them? Hat. There is a rat with a bat hiding inside of my hat. The hat has all the answers. The hat also protects us from the sun as much as we need. What kind of hat do you enjoy? What kind of hats do you all like to wear and stuff like that? Maybe you've got a particular make. Maybe like a beret. Or maybe you like a fedora instead. Feel free to share your favorite kind of hat with me tonight. Thank you for the follow, Grimu, and welcome on in. How are you doing tonight? How are you doing on this wonderful Valentine's Day? Or Valentine's Eve if you're in the States. Oh, man. I'll be honest, I think we're not gonna have like actual chocolate tomorrow. But we do have these two chocolate things downstairs. There is some chocolate animal crackers. There's also some chocolate ice cream in the freezer. So, if I need my fill on chocolatey goodness, then I can have a couple of different options tomorrow. Hello, Tichu! Welcome back. How are you doing tonight? You're just in time for some more ASMR goodness and stuff like that. You're in the right place. How are you doing tonight? How's the little Tichu doing tonight? How's my little one doing? No, I guess so. It's so hard to like want to do like rat stuff like while I'm doing ASMR. Like, cause I don't know. I guess like the way that I act out and stuff like that usually doesn't focused on the, I guess, body language. Kinda tired, how are you? I'm doing alright. Throat's just a little bit sore, but I might have probably used it a bit too much today. But other than that, I'm nice and happy. I'm kind of just a little bit hyperactive. I think a lot of exercise today did help out, so I've got my energy. But yeah, my throat is just a tad sore, but don't worry, I won't be straining it or anything. It's nothing that bad, it's just, if you're curious as to what I may have been working on, it's like a silly little shit post. Or on my Twitter, I have an interesting, do I want to call it like a voice clip? It's not a demo reel, but it's just me reading a couple of snippets from some like Dojin pages and stuff like that, so it's like I went in with the impression of doing something either a little bit more mommy or femdom, and it turned out like towards the end just being straight up Moetsuki. So, Thank you for the follow, Vincent. How are you doing tonight? Oh, come on by. You watched it, I was like, oh my god, wait, really? Like, I didn't think much of it. I thought it was like kind of scuff. Because I didn't do like too many like retakes. I kind of like maybe cut out like a few clicks and stuff like that. Like, yeah, and I don't like those sounds too much. And I was just like, let me grab a couple. And some of them, like, there was only a few exceptions that were like, I could do this. But they had obvious NSFW elements on the panel itself. And I was just like, I need something that doesn't have NSFW in it. I don't mind if it's got like a word or two out there. And as long as it's not a straight up explicit word. Like, I'll be honest, the word onohole is not explicit. What you do with an onohole may or may not be explicit. There are non-explicit uses for an onohole. It's just, if you use them that way, you're probably weird and creative, unorthodox, and I give you a thumbs up. But yeah, I was just like, okay, I had fun with it. I try to like, I knew I didn't have much time, so I guess I went for efficiency. I didn't want to make them perfect, and I didn't want them to be something that I would consider like deliverable for somebody that was looking to hire for it. It's just, I wanted to do something for fun. And, that's how it came off to me. So, if people did get a kick out of it, or would just be interested in me doing more of that, I'll see what I can do. Hell, if you've got like a page or two that would be safe enough for Twitter, or my main Twitter account, feel free to shoot me a page or two. You can also give me the number to the one site, the NH site, if you want to as well. Just so I can either play try to fully get into character, or, give it a shot. But I mean, like I said, I did start off with a different impression, and by the time that I ended with it was, I don't know, something about doing Moetsuki dialogue is just really fun. It's just, I guess, maybe I just don't have enough confidence to do anything a bit more, that genre specifically. And I want to bank more on going a little bit lower, I guess. So that's why I was like, it'd be a mix of Domimami and Moetsuki. Somewhere in the middle of that is where I think I would just have a ton of fun, like voicing and stuff. Lilygaki. I guess we could go for that, yeah. Or just call it Lilygaki Hours or something like that. Actually, I quite like that name a lot. To the point, I'm probably gonna have to steal it and use it for something at some point. That's a really clever combination. So, I'm gonna have to keep that one in mind. You don't mind if I pry that one out of your hands, do you? I'm just gonna have to take that one for myself, I guess. Bad timing. I have to go AFK to stop my cat from... Aww. No worries. When you're back, get... Or, when we see you later, remind me, and I'll welcome you back in, and thank you for the follow. Osla NC, welcome on in, how are you doing? I might have... Oh, they missed the hat thing. So, guys, when they get back, if I forget about it, then remind me. Because they redeemed the trigger word hat. So, I don't mind to do 2 hats, you know. I've already got one, but I mean, if somebody else needs one, then we'll figure it out there, you know. That's an old Flintstones joke if you catch the reference. You'd give it up willingly, wouldn't you? I know you would, because you're such a sweetheart. But yeah. What more could we do? I do need to take my hands out of my long sleeves and take a bit of water. Water noises. Okay, so obviously I do think like wearing the collar and whatnot is better than just leaving it on the mic. There's something that just sounds a little bit more natural and stuff like that. Oh, welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah, sorry about the cat and stuff like that, but yeah. You're all good, you're all good. So earlier I had to thank you for the follow and stuff like that. I'll do another brief introduction here in just a little bit. But yeah, the trigger word hat. I forget what I did exactly. Thank you for the headbats, Gunther. How are you doing tonight? It's Valentine's Day, so you get the privilege? Oh, okay. Then that's how we'll do it then. That'll be the worst time for an ad. That is like the worst time for an ad to actually happen. So, what could I do? Guys, I know it's weird and it's always gonna make my, it's gonna show up on the mic. Do you mind if I have a Ricola? You will hear it moving around from time to time because it makes a bit of noise. But I think my throat is desperate for one right now, so forgive me. I need to order a new one of these anyways because they're amazing. They are amazing for my throat. Ricola. If you've ever heard the commercial, Ricola, you know that one? Actually, if I just keep the package out and whatnot, this is what I should start doing. During the ad breaks, like right now, you'll hear this. When the ad's over, I'll take it out. Alright, sorry about the ad break, guys, and welcome back in. Oh, what if you didn't have ears? Then, how about I do this then instead? Bye bye, hasta la vista, buenas noches. Into the darkness they go, into the void they go, and from where they'll reappear from, only God knows. But hey, maybe I'll just have to step and play God tonight, you know? But yeah, they'll be back. I know they look so biased, you know. I'm cold, my head's cold again. Give me back. They're there, but you can't see them. You're gonna have to beg for them to come back, you know. You're just gonna have to get down and tell me that you want me to bring the ears back. I guess you could tell me something like that if you really want me to, you know. Go on. Okay, so, yeah, this is why I said, hold on, I should be using a quieter voice, I'm sorry about that. I got excited because the Ricola, these things they give your voice superpowers. It doesn't last for forever, but they're amazing because they have like a blend of like 40 different herbs, one of which is definitely peppermint. But yeah. Gotta see the big ears. The big ears, when they're there, yeah. They're so big, they're so fluffy, they're so happy. But yes, I like the big ear aesthetic, so yes, I always have them. Ricola. It's the commercial little thing that comes up, but think of them as just a throat drop. But they're, for whatever reason, the glasses do make it just a little bit more palatable. But it's, when they're still gone, even with the glasses, it feels so weird. This is like if I never had fox ears, this would not look just a little bit unbalanced because of the way the bangs are done. But you know, when they're gone, we're so used to seeing them that it looks too weird. It doesn't look the same. I want my ears back. I still have them, but I want to show them off. I want to show them off. Thank you for the reading, though, by the way. Thank you for the redeems, you too. You don't like mint? Oh, don't you like mint? Mint is like, okay, let's say one of my favorites. When it comes to ice cream, mint chocolate chunk is, it's God's gift to the earth. It's wonderful. Also, why is it that I become a little bit more activated after having just a little bit of Ricola? I think it's because I'm overly aware of what my voice sounds like while I'm talking, I guess. So the second that my voice sounded better, I immediately got more playful. That's weird. That's interesting. That is, why does my brain do that? But yeah, sorry if you missed the hat thing earlier, but I guess you could say it was a bit of a hat trick. There will be more hats around, you know. What kind of hat do we have? Maybe there's a rat with a bat under the hat, because the rat definitely put a blanket over the ears for right now. They'll be back when they're back. Mint is spicy. Interesting. I mean, it is technically considered a spice. I never would have thought it was, you know. I never would have thought that it was, so spicy that it can be considered, like, too, like, you know, hot, I guess you could say, and, like, heat. The burn. Yeah. It's like one of those soothing heat things. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It works, though. It definitely works, though. So, yeah. Give me 1 second, guys. I think I know the best way to do this. We can just have it a little bit, like, a little bit by a bit. And, yeah. It's like I can do it as a normal voice, but the second I try to make it sound ASMR, Dommy Mommy hurts the throat. God damn. Why does it hurt the throat so much? I don't know. It's just, I don't know. You would think a voice more like right here would be a little bit more straining and whatnot. But it's honestly not that bad. Okay, there they are. You guys get to see my ears again. So, now, take a good look at them. Burn them into your retinas, burn them into your memories, and don't forget what they look like, because when they're gone, you're gonna have to imagine them, you know. I don't go against the rules. When the redeem is redeemed, they stay gone, you know. But don't worry, I can still hear you. Like I said, I just simply hide them with magic. That way you can see them. So, if anybody's being a bit of a tease, it'd be the people that are redeeming them themselves, you know. I am not that much of a brat to hide the ears. But I will be a bit more of a brat if I want you to work for it, you know. No, that's just because you work for me. But I definitely take care of my employees. I take good care of my fluffs. Each and every one of you. You know? So even if I'm still being a bit of an brat, you know, I can still be an endearing one. I can still be a very caring one. I might push your buttons a little bit, but that doesn't mean I'm going to push you off a cliff. Unless we really need to get something from down below. But at that point, I'll probably provide you with like a parachute or something like that. I guess you could say I could never be mean for the sake of being mean. But I can be mean for the sake of being loving, affectionate, or something like that. I just want to bait a little bit of reaction out of you. I just want to see what I can get away with. what you're gonna let me get away with. And unless you tell me to stop, I'll push against the wall again and again and again until I know exactly how you like me to press against them. You know. There is an art to being a brat. It's not about just being mean. You cannot forget the endearing aspect of being a brat. It's hard to master.
Grumkit just subscribed.
Thank you so much for the subscription, Grumkit. And thank you for supporting the channel. May you enjoy the emotes and the lack of ads here on the channel. You get the ad-free viewing experience all to yourself. Drool. Drool. Oh my dear. If you're gonna give me eyes like that, what is it that you want? What is it that you want tonight? You're gonna boot me? Oh, what you gonna boot me for? What you gonna boot me for? What did I do to deserve to be being booped? I'm gonna boop you back. I'm gonna pinch your nose. I'm gonna pinch your nose, then I'm gonna grab your tongue, and then I'm gonna run away with it. I'm gonna steal your tongue. And then I'll give it back. I'll give it back when I want you to talk to me. But until then, let's just say this fox has your tongue. I ain't no cat. You know? So cute you are. Oh, that's a sweet thing. Too embarrassed? No worries, no worries, no worries. I guess I'll just have to wring it out of you. I wouldn't be that cruel. But I have other ways, I guess you could say. I might just have to scratch behind the ears a little bit. I might just have to whisper into the ears directly just a little bit. Maybe I'll give you a head pet or two. Maybe I'll scratch Chat's chins just a little bit. You know? I'll have to find a way into your hearts one at a time. One way or another. I'm pretty sure. I might not always have a key. But let's just say I'm pretty good at picking a lock. After all, I like treasure. And if a lock's gonna keep me from getting to treasure, then, I had to learn how to do that at some point, you know? You're not gonna keep me away from treasure. You're not gonna keep me away from the shinies. I'm definitely, what's that word? Kleptomaniac? Philanthropist? I always forget. Yeah, anyways, I was able to go back to see the hats redeem thing. It was super good. No worries, no worries, no worries. As long as a good hat trick or two for you. As long as you enjoy the word hat. Then I'll do it again. I'll do it again. So let me see. I need a little bit more water. And a little bit more of the throat drop. And then I'll be good to go. Okay, I'm sorry if the sounds are a little unsettling and stuff like that, but it really does help the throat stay in business, if you know what I mean. So, what's a good way to tease tonight? What's a good way to have fun tonight? What are you all in the mood for? Maybe some food. Maybe a shower. Definitely not me, right? Surely you guys have your sights set higher, right? Otherwise, I'm just gonna have to tease you about it. You're gonna make it go on being here right next to me. Um, you know. My brain stopped. You ever have those moments where your brain just like factory reset initiated? Because that's exactly what happened to me just now. I have no idea where I was going with that thought. Hello, Roxas Amore. Welcome on in. How are you doing today? How are you doing tonight? You know, I've had a girl who used to have a crush on, and I never told her that I liked her because I was afraid she would just reject me. Aw, I know what you mean. Shyness do be like that, you know? Self, like, shyness, what's the other one? Inhibitions, risk, fear of rejection. There's a lot of reasons as to why we, would keep it to ourselves and stuff. You just got home? Sweet. Then you're just in time for a lot of ASMR and stuff like that. The day before Valentine's Day, of course, as well. So, I'm glad to hear you're doing good. Welcome on in. So, let's see. You know, now that I'm thinking about it, I should really consider getting food after that. Yeah, fear of rejection sucks. It's definitely, like, I think there's a lot of fears, but there's like 3 big common fears. Or at least that's what's indicated out by that one video game. You probably remember what I'm talking about, Jen. The fear of being harmed, the fear of being unloved, and the fear of being a bad person. I think fear of rejection is under fear of being unloved. I think. That or it's its own thing, and then I feel like everything branches off for those 3 though. I really think you can relate any other fear under those ones. Because if you think about it, the fear of hurting someone would technically be under the fear of being a bad person. In a way, not always, but you know. You could definitely do it like that, I guess you could say. You've been rejected? No worries. No worries. As long as you're not afraid to keep trying in life, there's that saying, try, and try again until you can't try any longer. Or is it anymore? I always forget, but yeah. Try it and try to tell her your body frozen but couldn't speak. Stage fright. That's a very common, very common thing. Man, I used to do so poorly at public speaking. And if I was to do it now, I'd probably be okay. But man, it feels weird. Like, just always sucking at giving speeches. And then you become a streamer. You know? Life is interesting. Life leads you to interesting places sometimes, and it's just, you never know. But hey, I do what I like, and I'm doing what I'm liking, so I'm just gonna keep doing exactly that. And then we'll just go from there and do whatever we need to, be happy, spread happiness, and help other people to be happy, to make other people happy, to spread the happiness that will eventually come back to you. But yep. All you can do is try. Have high hopes, and, try to make them successful and stuff like that. Of course, when we die, there will definitely be things that we don't succeed with, and that's okay. We can complain about our failures, and our regrets, and our remorse in the afterlife. Because wherever our next life is, or the afterlife is, or even if there isn't one, why not wait? Why not wait to be negative when we're already dead? Because then we'll have all the time in the world. So while we're alive, we're going to focus on the positives. If you only have so much time, then use that time on the good things. Save the bad stuff for death. Because death accepts everything. So, you know, when it comes to crushes, I discovered that letting the crush know how you feel, even if you know it won't be reciprocated, takes a weight off your shoulders. I think it can for like, I want to say 50%. I think it is a half and half thing. And the reason why is because it's how a person reasons with their own emotions internally. Everybody has their own needs. And from what I've discovered, needs tend to be pretty 50-50. Emotional ones, psychological ones, not things like food and water. Those are obvious. You don't need a brand new Nintendo console, but you do need to eat. You do need to sleep. So those are outside the realm of my 50-50. Just the random thing I gotta say is the musket and the power hits hard. Oh, just wait till you get all the other weapons, the legendary tiers. Power World's fun. Power World's fun. And I know I've not been playing it too much recently after I, completed the decks one time. But let's just say I'm waiting on a group of friends to, get a modded server going and stuff like that. And then I might play it more casually instead of no life it again. Because I've also gotta, start playing more Gun Blue. That game is, it's so good. It's everything that I wanted. Now, I don't know how much more of it I'll do on stream and stuff like that. But I gotta get around to it as soon as I can. Because I love that game. It's just, I want my monkey. I actually don't know that I want to become in a relationship. I feel like I'm constantly in a struggle to battle the emotions, and that's okay. As long as you can take a deep breath and just be calm, collected, and prioritize, be efficient. But I mean, that's a day-to-day thing. As long as, you can accept that is a very natural state of being. But aren't we all? I'll be honest, I don't know if it's necessarily anti-socialism. Me and relationships are just, I guess, I always had kind of like a negative bias on it. But like I said, I'm always that type who's kind of like, everything should be tried at least once or twice or so. But it's just, I have so much negative thought behind it because you guys know I'm ever so slightly autistic. The ADHD, self-motivation, priorities misaligned, everything like that, and then my own internal feelings and stuff like that. And to me, is relationships don't seem like they would be worth the effort, especially when I'm, I guess, somewhere in life where I'm still overwhelmed with what I want to do in life. Goals, priorities, careers, motivations, aspirations, and there's just so much about relationships that don't make logical sense. I guess you could say a couple of the important emotions that drive relationships are either kind of lacking or I'm not able to understand them. I've noticed there are some things, some ways people think, some way people feel that I'm unable to understand. And I think that is actually an ADHD thing. Because somebody asked me something, and for the first time, I realized that the answer was not a yes or no. Somebody asked me, why can't you just follow instructions? And then I'm just like, wait, I can't. Because I realized after so long, we're trying to go against them, that the way that I think, the things that I need emotionally, the logic that I need, the patterns that I need to see, my experiences, things like that, I realize I just can't go from A to B. My mind has some sort of need, some sort of prerequisites, requirements, or, you know, the easiest way I could describe it is the second new information comes into existence, it's going to make staying, I guess, on the route easy, because stuff happens. And for me, as kind of you know, it's definitely something to do with our own attention. People have compared ADHD to being something that should have, left, like, it's, I don't know how to describe it. It's an old skill that was more important when we were still like hunter gatherers. And they needed people who had that different set of attention and lack of attention. And in today's modern realm, society, stuff like that, it's not needed. If anything, it's more of a disadvantage because we're not hunter gatherers on the verge of danger. There's no need to be like overly considering, or like the way that our attention moves. So like there is a chance I could get to A to B if it's like a short task. But with multiple repetitions, I will find that as easy as it sounds to follow a simple instructions, it's impossible to do it every single time. And it is not something I can learn to change. That is something I used to beat myself up a bunch. I've gotten better with it over the years, and within recent weeks, after like being asked that question, I was like, okay, it was never something that was worth beating myself up of. That's just how I am. So, it's not just for me to accept. Other people, if they have an issue with it, are going to have to learn to accept it as well. Because you guys have probably noticed, I'm very accepting of everybody else. I do everything I can to understand everybody else, and even give a lot of second chances. So to me, I realized I don't get angry a lot. It's rare. I might get angry like once or twice a year. And I think the one things that upset me the most is when people aren't willing to do the same. When time and time again, I've always been one to do that for them. So, I won't talk too much about it. Just that was like something like just kind of reminded me my own ADHD thing. So, I brought that up because it does apply to relationship stuff as well. Because it will make it difficult. Because if you think about it, the persons, like the people with the ADHD, were less likely to be the ones that would have the offspring. They would be the ones protecting the tribes. So, I guess you could say somewhere in my DNA is just, it doesn't make too many heads like tails. So, don't get me wrong, I have nothing against them. I think it would be great if I had one and it worked out. It's just, I don't think I'd be able enough to do, enough things to make it worthwhile. I definitely feel like my prioritize, a lot of them are like hard grained into like my brain and stuff like that. And this could be maybe just a bit selfish, but I'm also like, I also don't want to put my priorities so much to the side, because there are things in this life that I would love more than anything before death was to find me. So, it's gonna be hard, it's gonna be difficult. So, you would just have to either find somebody overly accepting of that, somebody that thinks similarly, or is maybe more progress or activity driven. But I do like to cling from time to time. You guys know me. I might not be the most extroverted, but some people seem to think I am under certain conditions. But I guarantee if I am not acting out, I will immediately go back into my introverted ways and my antisocial ways and my, completely shy ways. It's just, I guess you could say I've gotten a little bit more comfortable with having an outlet. But yeah, it's been a lot worse since 5 to 6 years ago when I took a big hit mentally because of losing my grandpa on my father's side and we were really close. Aww, I'm sorry to hear that. But I do hope he's happy from wherever he is looking down at everybody and hoping they're happy too. So we do what we can to make, those before us, satisfied or happy to see us continue living and whatnot. We live for the dead, we live for ourselves, and we, will eventually die for those that come after us. And that's just the circle of life, That's just the circle of life. That was an interesting little talk, a little bit of a tangent. But yeah. You know how it is. You know how it is. There's an ad break going on. So, I won't pull up the BRB screen, but exclusively while the ad breaks are going on, I'm taking a cough drop. You used to beat yourself up in the first years after the incident. Called myself useless and waste of space. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. And don't worry, we've all had those, clinically ill deep spirals of depression, stuff like that. I was definitely within one from, I think between, 14 and, 2020, 2021. When I try to work as an artist and stuff like that, among everything else. Sometimes you just need a helping hand. Sometimes you just need patience. But there's something a teacher told me while I was in high school that I still like to quote from time to time, although I do get it wrong a lot. And I'll save it for after the ad break. Because for right now, I'm going to enjoy the cough drop. Da-da-na-na-na-na. Ads are done. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Sorry about that. Sorry about the ads. But yeah, you didn't miss too much. Like I was saying, a lot of times, the ad breaks for these ASMR streams are just a really good point to, take a moment to have a small cough drop to relax the throat and just get right back into it, But yeah, as I was saying, the one quote that I wanted to share that a teacher of mine gave me back then and stuff like that. After the darkest day, it's after the darkest night comes a brighter day. So, that was in reference to deep spirals of depression, stuff like that. Sometimes they take time, but once the darkest hour is over, things do get better. We just have to wait for it and be open to it and ready for it. Also, welcome in game. How are you doing? Yep, that do be the Discord for anybody interested in alerts, announcements, and stuff like that. How are you doing tonight, though? But yeah, I don't know if I'll ever talk too much more about my introspectives on my mental health from the past. And if I do, those will just come later. Tonight's Valentine's Day. We're not gonna bring that stuff in. In a big serious time allowance or anything like that. But yeah, we do what we do. So, what next? Where do we go from that next? I guess I could say I'm the type to maybe not say, but probably show affections. But I think I would ever lack the confidence to ever bring it up. Something that could probably be like improved upon. But that also doubles down on like my like not having a necessity to technically have like a relationship or partner. As long as I can die with people close to me and be as close to that as possible and just everybody be comfy happy, then I just need a really good group of close friends before I die. A relationship would be the cherry on the top. It'd definitely be a special cherry, but it's like, you know, it's probably also rooted in my inability to feel like I'd be like worthy of that just because I know how I am. And I know I would definitely make it more difficult for somebody that would probably require more attention, I guess. So, you know, affection and I don't really go hand in hand. I feel like it can be for some and whatnot. It's definitely a case by case thing. Definitely a case by case thing. Though a good look is that after then, or after then, dies to cuddles, dies from cuddling. Man, I don't know. I feel like the right kind of affection's always good. But I guess one thing that I definitely struggle with is the necessity for a relationship. Like the formalities and stuff like that. If people can be happy without having those and whatnot, I kind of feel like it's definitely, God, ADHD really messes with the brain. It's interesting. But, you know, you can still manage to an extent. Because, like, we still feel, don't get me wrong, we still feel. It's just between that and a little bit of autism, I am very unorthodox. I am definitely not normal. And when you also include my lack of social experiences, then you'll find that I think more on like good faith, logic, and what I feel, what I see, and what I think I'm doing is the right thing. And the only way I'm gonna learn any differently is, you know, by getting in there and not being afraid to make a mistake. Not being afraid to get rejected. The only way I'm going to learn any differently, the only way I'm going to find out if it's even going to work out in the end, is to try. And to try again. And to try again and again and again. Until I can't try anymore. But let's be honest, I'll probably still be trying into my death anyways. Somebody's going to have to, like, you know, slap me across the face when I'm dead. And be like, bruh, you died 5 years ago. Put the pencil down. Put the mic down. It's like, but my fluffs, my ASMR, my VO chat streams, I'm not done with them. It's like, no, you're a ghost. You're scared. No, okay. Even ghosts have places in this world if they could exist. If they do exist, it's just, you see what I'm trying to explain, you know. I'll be one of those person that's so caught up in what I'm doing and enjoying what I'm doing that, it'll take me a few years to realize that I'm dead when I'm actually dead. I honestly believe that that's like kind of like one of my personality quirks. I wouldn't say an overworker though. But I guess I do push myself here and there. But I push myself because it's a passion. It's a passion. I have arrived. Welcome on, Light. How are you doing tonight? How's Light been? How's it been on the other side? Okay, I didn't go into the light just yet, but yeah, if you're friends with that kind of light, let us know. Maybe you have a few words that the Grim Reaper would like to say. Anyhow, let's see. I'm thinking of cutting things off just a little bit short tonight, since, like I said, my throat is acting up just a little bit, and I guess it's like the first stream to where it's like I've either noticed my throat being weird, or me complaining, or me like trying to, you know, use a cough drop, stay hydrated, and I do think, you know, I've definitely gave my voice and throat a good workout today, so I might just have to, you know, take it easy. Now, you guys, I can still make it up. Maybe I'll stream tomorrow a bit longer, because at that point, I think I'll be able to get to do more of the Valentine's Day vibes. Kind of feel like what I do normally is, I think it's a Valentine enough, I guess you could say. I do believe I'm doing well. Feeling sleepy? Wanted to drop by while I still have energy. Well, thank you for doing so. Thank you for doing so, especially if you feel like you're overexerting yourself or just, getting close to winding down and taking it on easy and stuff like that. There's no problem with that at all. There's no problem with that at all. It's good to see you. It's good to see all of you and stuff like that. So, let me see. I guess here's the thing. I don't mind to talk a bit longer. I don't mind to go the full 3 hours. If anybody has anything interesting to talk about, if you guys would know what you want me to talk about, or just me to respond to what you guys have to say, I'm all ears. I mean, I do have quite big ones, but I mean, talk to me and I'll talk to you. Otherwise, I might just preserve my voice for a bit of a longer session tomorrow. Now, we will be on VR chat tomorrow instead. But I mean, you guys know how I am. My voice will always have an ASMR quality to it. It's just, it won't be necessarily ASMR, I guess you could say. Now, I will say this. We have made some pretty decent progress on our ASMR microphone crowdfunding and stuff like that. And I will be putting a little bit of what comes out of the upcoming sponsorship payouts when they come. It's just, most of that will come in 3-ish weeks or so. It'll take a bit of a little time to pay out. So I will be looking for other ways to incentivize the delay on those as well. Because I also want to contribute that towards the upcoming marathon, the timer and stuff like that. So wait, they kissed they banned kissing on Twitch? Do you mean excessive kissing or completely? Because I feel like people blow kisses all the time. It has to be something specific. It has to be a French kiss or something like that. I don't think they would go out of the way just to ban a simple, I don't think. And the sexual redeems. Okay, so on the bright side, I don't do anything explicit. I don't do anything sexual. I definitely tread the lines with being just, bratty, teasing, and trying to get a reaction out of people and stuff like that. So you don't have to worry about me doing anything like that. Wait, when was this? They got rid of earlicks? I'm not into that. But I mean, I felt bad for people that did do that. But I could see them getting rid of kissing, deep kissing, French kissing, stuff like that. But I'm pretty sure once in a while a blow kisser, just one lick, or not one lick, one kiss is probably fine. I can't do it right now because everything's dry right now, so don't worry about it. But 3 or 4 days ago? I wonder when they updated those guidelines. Yeah, ear licks is a no-no. It's no bueno. I mean, licking the fluffy hair could be okay, in dairy and stuff like that. But I mean, as an ASMR, anything that is even remotely close to mukbang voice sound, anything like that. I love crunch. I love bite. I love snap. I don't like licky, slurpy, gulpy stuff. That's just, it's too something it's it just triggers me in the worst kind of way, and I don't know why. So I always stay away from those sounds. But yeah, interesting. Ear cupping? You mean trying to talk I'm inside of a box, or is it something if I put the how would you do ear cupping sounds? You like certain mouth sounds, but in ASMR? Or in ASMR, but anything let or wet licky sounds. Yeah, exactly. You can say to a slight extent, my mouth clicks and clacks are just a little bit out there for my own but from what I've noticed is most people tend to like that or fine with it, or it doesn't trigger them. So I guess you could just say I'm just a little bit oversensitive to some of those sounds. So don't mind if I am slowly trying to make the equalizer a little more balanced. I don't mind them being there as long as they don't overpower, like my voice in whispers. Kabu kabu. Yeah. Agreeing with ear cupping? I guess I might have to look into that one. Pa, 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 poo, poo, poo. I would have no idea. But yeah. It's interesting. I've just always been good with like whispers and soft voices. Something that makes them just sound close. Something that just makes me sound, safe. At ease and relax. And you'll notice sometimes I'm in VR chat, even if I'm like not talking. I just like to go near people who I guess are talking sometimes. And that's why like when somebody like starts talking, you'll see me dart from one end of the room to the other. Cause I guess you could say I'm an audiophile. I like voices that aren't mine, I guess you could say. Like I like a little bit of everything, but the people who definitely like put the ASMR spin on it, or not even the ASMR spin, people that have like the ASMR, like it might not even be just ASMR, just the way that their voices sound is nice. And I feel like I almost comment every time on it. Especially like when somebody doesn't talk and they start talking again, I'm just like, and people might think I'm being sarcastic. It's like, no. I am truly in love with a lot of people's voices. Yeah, I've heard Kohaku a little bit. I've been meaning to like rewatch her just a bit more for ideas, but I always forget to. Because she was like one of the few like ASMR stuff that I would like be able to enjoy and relax and listen to, like that one time you had it in the VR chat world. That's what I was like, I'm thinking I need to like actually watch more of it. Because I don't digest a lot of ASMR content. Hers was pretty good. So, I am too, to be honest. Then, yeah. It's just one of those polarity things, one of those things that we just naturally gravitate towards. Just something about them putting you at ease or relaxed or just existing. Like you're just simply existing and stuff like that. I guess is one way I would think about it. Hello, Melancholy. How are you doing? Have a very good V-Day, cutie, with much love. Uh-huh. Well, you have a good Valentine's Day as well. And a good evening as well. A good night's sleep. And some comfy, sweet dreams. But maybe not as sweet as the chalk that we'll have to consume later, A weird pattern with me in getting hooked on certain people's voices. I wouldn't like say it's too weird. Because I definitely am subject to, falling into that pattern. Because it's just one of those things. I just like people's voices. And the ones that just kind of hit me on a certain day, or I've not heard in a while, or just, it hits me on an emotional level. And I guess you could say that's why I like it. Or that's why I like them. Or just, That's why it's always weird. Like, I probably won't talk anymore because, I like voices. I'm just gonna say that. I like makeup brush sounds because I like sound waves. I have makeup brushes, but I've not been able to get like a good sound out of them. But I feel like it's just because I need to find a surface that they're made to go against and whatnot. Otherwise, they don't pick up all that well. Or it's just because I've not found the technique for it yet. I've also not played with all the brushes just yet, so it could be just a matter of, that's my problem, I've not done enough research yet, and the fact that we're actually getting closer to having an ASMR mic. Now, I will say, yes, that would cut a lot of this trial and error, because the 3DO mic is not a condenser mic. It does not function the way a podcasting mic functions at all. And a lot of this like equalizer stuff that I have to do and whatnot, you don't need that. You can add just a little bit here and there, maybe tone down the bass in the box a tad, but for the most part, they are made for ASMR. They're made for ASMR. You don't have to plug and chug all these numbers and values. So, you guys are in for a treat when we do get the mic. Because I guarantee it will forever change how we do our ASMR content. And you could say there might even be room to mix it up with VR chat as well in the future. It would just be way too hard to do with the index as it is now. It's not a bad mic, it's actually an exceptional mic. It's just, I don't know. Something about the mic being there and whatnot would just... because I'm a very visual person, I'm very kind of touchy-feely sometimes, and just having that physical mic there, you know, it's because I want to tease you. It's because I want to get right directly next to your ears. It's because I definitely want to put the grace on top of them. And you know, I'm gonna have a field day whenever we get the mic. So you're gonna have to forgive me when the time comes. Because I think when the time does come, you get a mix of daddy and maybe just a bit of mommy as well. But you know, I'm definitely gonna have to start working on actually getting all the voice profiles to work. Because like I said, something about daddy mommy voices are really hard on my throat for ASMR. When it's not ASMR voice, when it's not a soft voice, it's easy. It's actually really easy. And I'm wondering, is that just because the way the male vocal cords in voice box works? There are so many cheats out there to achieve different types of voices and faking the other gender's voice. But the doability, it's the ease, the access, the viability, that's the hard part. Which is why, I don't know. But I do think ASMR is always meant to be a bit softer. And I think daddy mommy energy is just a bit too rough. Because, I mean, let's be honest. Who doesn't want daddy and mommy just to be a little bit rough, you know? Like, think about it. That should be natural for them, right? A little rough around the edge is why we like them like that. That's why we call them daddy. That's why we call them mommy. So, when we're keeping it nice and soft, I think that's where these higher, sassier, playful voices like get to shine and whatnot. Because, you know, maybe you have less energy if you are chat. Maybe something like that, yeah. And maybe something like that. Because I won't be able to move around too much, and the camera is gonna stay like in one spot. And the microphone is always gonna be like in one spot. So, I'm gonna have to figure it out. Because the problem that I'm thinking is now... Okay, that would be a bit too difficult, but I mean, I'll give it a shot. I'll see what I can do. I'll make some plans. I'll do some experiments, and we'll just, go from there and stuff like that. But yeah, guys. My throat is quite literally getting close to its limits. So, let me go see. I'm gonna snooze the ad just in case. And I'm gonna go see who's on tonight. I'm gonna send you out, and I'll be back. I'll be back with Valentine's Day, actual Valentine's Day for us here in the States. Tomorrow, VR chat. Now, I don't know if there will be ASMR on Sunday, because technically, I should be taking off a full week just to rest and whatnot. And this is the first time when I actually get to go and raid Wolf. I feel like I've always missed out the chance on sending them a raid back, because I usually go later, but this will be the weird chance to where I, end early. So they've been nice to us, sending us raids off and on, and we'll have to see if their mic came in, because I think they were getting a 3D one. So guys, just be prepared. It's an emotional thing. Yeah, sounds, emotions, and neurons that wire together, fire together. It's definitely one of those brain things. It's a psychological thing. Also kind of physiological in a way. But yeah, I'm gonna send you on over there. So don't miss me too much. I might try to come in on Sunday and do another ASMR stream just to make up for today. Because you guys definitely didn't get me at my best. I should have been more mindful instead of overusing my voice before stream. Because, you know, that's just me forgetting. No, that's just me forgetting. Thank you for the advice, Jen. So, I'll do what I can to do a better job on Sunday as compensation. As long as I have time. If it doesn't look like I'm gonna have time, then I'll figure it out then, because I gotta start preparing for the anniversary. So, until then, let's enjoy the next 3 days. That's all we have until then. Until then, you think I did good? Well, thank you so much. You're really too sweet. Like, really, 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 really. Hey, Kerr, how are you doing? But guys, I think I'm done out of here. Take it easy. Night night. And sweet dreams. Adios. Oh my, if it hurts. God.